This is the Type 3 Malfunction round. Thanks for watching. Hey everybody, thank you for watching Peace, Love, and Guns. Today we have a very special treat for you. We are looking at the Type 3 Malfunction round, and it's actually kind of a neat little thing. I am a member of one of the major concealed carry insurance policy sellers, and I saw an advertisement in the magazine that they put out monthly, and it's for a new product called the Type 3 Malfunction Round, and it's made by Live Fire Tactical Training LLC. I thought it was a pretty neat concept. Type 3 malfunctions, of course, being the double feed. These are notoriously problematic when they occur, albeit they occur somewhat rarely. That makes it kind of difficult to train for. So having a device that allows you to train for that specifically is kind of an interesting concept. So I went ahead and emailed their company and told them, hey, I have a YouTube channel and I would love to try out your product. Can you send me some? And Steve, I guess he is their CEO or their primary leader there. Steve went ahead and sent me a package of the 9mm Type 3 training rounds. So it's pretty cool. They are a nylon dummy bullet. And you can see that it's kind of got a molded 9mm bullet kind of impressioned in the center there. But then it also has these two wings that kick off to the side. It's also got some geometry to it, where it's not just a rectangle. It looks like they've paid attention to how a Type 3 malfunction actually looks, feels, and what it does to the gun, because they didn't just take a 9mm round and make it more bulbous. They've got geometry on there that would appear to be for something. Another thing that you'll notice is the back kind of has this, like, looks like a bomb that the B-52 would drop or something, but it's got this kind of boat tail kind of design going this direction to the plate at the back there that the extractor would hold on to and pull this out of the gun. They are made of nylon and they are red, so that's kind of a cool thing. They are highly visible, and I think that that's pretty cool for a dummy round. I've seen plenty of dummy rounds. I think I actually saw another product like this one before, and they were metallic. I tend to like my dummy rounds to be clearly different than live ammunition, but that is the Type 3 dummy round. So we're going to be doing some drills with it, and we're going to take a look. I'll keep you guys updated on and how I feel about how effective the product is. But from what I see, it looks like a very soundly built product. This is a fresh, brand new one out of the packaging. And this is one that I have cycled a number of times. I'll show you kind of the back end of them there. Now, when I first put these into the gun, I cycled it, and I noticed that there was some a little tiny chunk taken out of it after one point. I had cycled it a few times, thought that's pretty cool. And so I immediately began questioning whether or not this is very durable. And so I can happily report that they do seem to be very resilient, being made out of a nylon composite material. I took this round and I loaded it into the magazine and I cycled it a number of times. I actually cycled it 100 separate repetitions in vertical and horizontal, and then in a diagonal. And what I was noticing was that whenever I would put it in a slightly different orientation, the jam would look slightly different, which is kind of cool because your jams are not always going to be uniform. Even with the Type 3 malfunction, a double feed, it doesn't look exactly the same every time. The remedial action to clear it is the same thing. Lock the slide to the rear, strip the magazine out hard. It might come out at that point, or you might have to get at it. You rack, put the new ammo source in, and then rack it, and then go back to pew pew. So it's kind of cool that it looks a little bit different depending upon the orientation there. I would love to do some drills with friends where we maybe mix this in to a handful of ammunition, load up each other's mags, and then run against the clock and see who can do the course of fire the fastest while clearing a number of malfunctions. You get 5 of them in the package, and from what I see, they are very robust, very resilient, and you can see I've racked this over 100 times. I did 33 repetitions on each vertical, horizontal, and then diagonal. You may notice that there is some red shavings down at the bottom of this. Those red shavings are little bits of nylon that the sharp edges, the internal components of the gun, kind of when it grabs and it slams it forward repeatedly, you want something to be sacrificial in a sense. So that's what this is. I've done some drills where you put an empty case in, or where you set up the Type 3 malfunction by putting a round into the chamber, putting your ammo source in, and then letting it try chambering another round on top of that. But that only works for that first trigger press, and it's artificial. You don't get to feel it as that's occurring. With these, you start with live ammunition on top, live ammunition on bottom, fire, 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 and then it tries chambering this guy, and it gives you the feel of what that feels like when you experience it in the field. And then, so we're gonna lock slide to the rear, rip out, rack, 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 new source of ammo, and then get back on the trigger. I did do some research afterward, and they have an expected lifespan of about 500 repetitions per unit. And when I demonstrate this to you in a second, you'll see why, A, you want something that's kind of sacrificial like nylon instead of having a steel piece of material in the gun, other metallic parts banging up against stuff. It's a relatively violent process that this thing goes through, so the fact that they last that long is pretty cool. So what we want to do is we want to start with an empty gun. So I've removed my ammunition source, and I have removed the bullet out of the chamber, but I'll prove this to you. So I've got a open gun and then a open chamber. Physically and visibly checked that. We take our magazine and we load up the training rounds into there. The package comes with 5. So I'll just do 5 here to show you guys what that looks like. And now we can do dry practice. Again, I've got a clear and open gun. I visually and physically checked that. Goes in, rack, and you can see that I have a malfunction there. And just by racking it like that, I know that I am causing a Type 3 malfunction. But even knowing that, I can feel that it feels different than slide returning home. Strip. Rack it out. All right, I've created another one, and see how this one is slightly different. Rack to the rear, strip, insert. Slightly different. Definitely feels different than the slide returning home. I'm gonna rack to the rear, rip it out, place the source, and there we are. So, rack to rear, lock, and peel. Now I have some other dummy rounds here that I've had for some time now. I'm not as fond of these because it looks mostly like a regular round, and there is a little bit of orange at the back there, but it's inset. But we're gonna go ahead and use this. So I'm gonna put one down at the bottom, put a Type 3 malfunction round in, and then put a couple more on top of it. Woo! All right, so there we have 3 standard dummy rounds and 1 Type 3 malfunction round. So it goes in, chambers, and dry fire. Round ejects, second round. All right, uh-oh, that felt different. Ain't got anything. And that's what our malfunction looks like. We lock to the rear, strip, reinsert, and go. All right, and that's pretty much it. Type3malfunctionround.com or go to livefiretacticaltraining.com and you can see this. It comes out very cheap per round, even if you assume these are only going to last 100 repetitions. The one that I used is still very usable, and they estimate that they can last about 500 repetitions. You get 5 of those per, so you're looking at 2,500 repetitions per $15 pack of these rounds. Mix them with your live ammunition and then give it a try. I say that it's good, valid training. That's worth something. What do you think? Is this a viable practice round? Is this something that you would spend money on? What do you think? We'd like to have conversations with our viewers down in the comments below. I want to thank you all for watching. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, share all of those wonderful things. Check out livefiretacticaltraining.com and check this product out. You can learn a little bit more about it. I'm going to be making a video doing some drills with this a little bit later. I don't know. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Do you think this is valid? Do you think it's a waste of money? I kind of think that it's cheap insurance to practice something realistically like it is going to happen in the field. Thank you very much for watching, and you have a good night.